Vincent van Gogh lived in the mid-1800s. Van Gogh's most well-known psychotic break, the one where he cuts his ear off and gives it to a prostitute, is portrayed by this picture. Van Gogh shows his emotions and internal turbulence through many of his paintings and letters to his brother Theo. There have been many speculations about what mental illnesses Van Gogh could have suffered from. The following are the most probable: temporal lobe epilepsy, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, anxiety, and depression.
Van Gogh would suffer from long periods of distress and sadness. He would experience symptoms of depression such as insomnia, fatigue, and lack of motivation. Some could speculate that because his creativity didn't slow down, it could have been a coping mechanism to deal with his feelings of despair. In his letters to Theo, Van Gogh mentions his lack of sexual arousal. Later studies show that there's a correlation between libido and depression. Van Gogh's fits of depression will also lead him to drink lead paint and eat paint chips. He would drink yellow paint because he believed it would make him happy. Lead poisoning from the paint would cause the retinas to swell, causing him to see yellow halos around objects, as seen in Starry Night.
Gauguin was another artist who came and stayed with Van Gogh in Arles. It was Christmas Eve, and Gauguin decided it was time for him to leave Arles. Van Gogh lost his temper and ended up throwing his glass of absinthe in Gauguin's face. Then he would be taken home, Gauguin would leave the house, only to be followed by Van Gogh with an open razor. This razor would be used later that night to cut off his own ear and give to his favorite prostitute, Rachel.
Van Gogh's symptoms, especially during this time, include agitations and irritability, paired with hallucinations and delusions. The act of cutting off his ear was a form of self-mutilation, another characteristic of schizophrenia. It was recorded that he would suffer from other dysphoric symptoms and feelings of anxiety.
Hypergraphia is a form of anxiety where one feels compelled to write continuously. This is parallel to Van Gogh's life, as he wrote to his brother Theo every day, sometimes even more.
Van Gogh complained about his gastrointestinal issues and digestive problems, which are symptoms of long-term anxiety, evident in his letters to Theo. Van Gogh also suffered from mania and epilepsy, two characteristics associated with anxiety.
The police were alerted after the incident pertaining him cutting his ear off, and he was found passed out on his bed. He was taken to a hospital. In the hospital, he was in a psychotic state, suffering from hallucinations and delusions, causing him to be put in solitary confinement for 3 days. Van Gogh suffered amnesia and could not remember attacking Gauguin, cutting off his ear, or being admitted to the hospital.
Epilepsy was the original diagnosis given to Van Gogh when he was first admitted. This diagnosis was based on his seizures, constant fatigue, mania, amnesia, and irritability, all of which are symptoms we've seen in previously mentioned disorders. Later studies have shown that Van Gogh had a metabolic disease called acute intermittent porphyria. This is a hereditary disease that causes hallucinations, delusions, abdominal pain, and seizures. This could have contributed to his schizophrenia and epilepsy. There's proof of his sister being admitted into an asylum, showing similar symptoms.
In one letter to Theo, Van Gogh explains his bipolar-like symptoms in this quote: "I am unable to describe exactly what is the matter with me. Now and then there are horrible fits of anxiety, apparently without cause, or otherwise a feeling of emptiness and fatigue in the head, and at times I have attacks of melancholy and of atrocious remorse."
Van Gogh experienced feverish creative activity followed by periods of exhaustion. This can be attributed to his unpredictable mood shifts between anguish and euphoria. These mood shifts replaced eccentric madness with bouts of depression. Many believe these bipolar-like symptoms would lead to his suicide at age 37.